are enjoying at your homes and safe as well. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 8, the Northern Mountains. What is the name of chapter? It is the Northern Mountains. So, as the name suggests, what we will study in this chapter, we will study the mountains region in the India. Which are the mountains that are located in the north side of India? So, here we will study three mountain ranges. Number one is Himalayan range. Second is Karakoram, and third range is Purvanchal range. So, what are these? Number one is Himalayas. Second is Karakoram, and third one is Purvanchal range. This range, the Purvanchal range, this word is made up of the combination of two words. First is Pur, that you very well know. Pur means east, and second word is the Sanskrit word Anchal. What is the meaning of this word Anchal? It is region. So, we get from the name itself that these mountains are located in the east region of India. So, today we will study in detail the Himalayas region only, okay? In the next part of the video, or in the next class, we will continue with the other two. So, I am rubbing this for now. What we will study today? We will study the Himalayan range today in detail. Now, the Himalayan range. So, as previously I started with the name, so here also I will start with the name Himalaya. Again, it is made up of two words, combination of two words. One is Him plus Alya. Meaning of Him is snow, and Alya means abode. What is abode? Abode means the home or the shelter of anything. So we can say that Himalaya means abode of snow. So what do we get from this name Himalaya? We get that Himalaya is abode of snow, means Himalayan mountains are covered with the snow almost throughout the year. After this, the Himalayan ranges are, where are they located? The second part is, where are they located? These are located from Jammu Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. Okay? Or you can also say, as you must be aware that Jammu Kashmir has been divided into two parts, Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir. So it extends from Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh. I'll show you this in the map also. I'll just try drawing the rough map. How is it? If the India map is located something like this. At the topmost region we are having Ladakh. Then we have Jammu Kashmir. After this, here the shape is something like this. Here we have Uttarakhand. Then Nepal. Then we have Sikkim. Here it is Bhutan. I am just showing the neighboring countries as well, something like Nepal, Bhutan. So then in the eastern region, here Arunachal Pradesh is located in the map. So as I told you, Himalaya extends from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. So I am just showing the map. All this region of India is covered with Himalayas. Okay. Now, what is the further thing you must know? Along with India, the Himalayas also extends to other countries as well. What are those other countries? I have told you in the map also, you can see that it is passing through Nepal, Bhutan, and also here we have neighboring countries like Afghanistan, right? And here we have in India Rajasthan, and the border is shared with Pakistan, and here we have China. So what do we see? We see that Himalayas are also extended to other countries. The other countries are China, Nepal, Bhutan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. Okay, students? So these are 5 countries which have Himalaya region in them. So after this Himalaya, we will study that Himalaya regions are further divided into 3 parallel ranges. Okay? Like I have shown you here in the map area, this is Himalaya. Okay? Now this Himalaya is further divided into 3 parallel ranges. What are these ranges? Divided into 3 parallel ranges. What are the names of these ranges? Number 1 is Himadri range. What is it? Himadri range. Second is Himachal range. And the third one is Shivalik range. See students, I told you that it is divided into 3 parallel ranges. Parallel means you must be aware of what is parallel. Means which do not intersect each other. Okay, so I will divide this part into 3 ranges. Number 1 is Himadri. So this is Himadri range. Second is Himachal range. And the third last one is Shivalik range. Okay, now we are going to study these ranges in detail. First of all, we will start with Himadri. And we will study, what we will study is, we will study some special features of these ranges. Okay, I am just dropping it for now. You all must be able to locate these ranges in the map. Okay, like I have shown you, you can take a map at your home and you just try to locate these ranges in the map also. Right? So after this we will start the Himalayan range. Its first range is Himadri range. As I previously told you that it is the first range. So it is at the greatest height. And what is it called? It is also called as Greater Himalayas. Means it is the topmost region of the Himalayas. The average height of Himadri range is 6,000 meters. What is it? Average height of Himadri region is 6,000 meters above the sea level. Okay. Now we will study that obviously these are the highest range. So the highest mountain in the world also belongs to this range, Himadri range. What is it? Mount Everest. You must have heard about this. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the highest mountain, but it is not in India. It is located in Nepal. Now, the next question is, which is the highest mountain in India? Then it is Kanchenjunga. Okay, it is Kanchenjunga. You must be aware about the heights of these mountains also. What are the heights? The Kanchenjunga is about 8598 meters above the sea level. We always measure the heights from the sea level. So it is 8598 means 8598 meters above the sea level. And the Mount Everest located in Nepal, it is around 88, just let me check the number. It is 8848 meters, means above the sea level. Okay, students. So the question here arises is Kanchenjunga, you must be able to locate these mountains in the map as well. I already showed you Nepal. Okay, we have in map Nepal is also located near to India, so there we will show Mount Everest. But what about Kanchenjunga? Kanchenjunga is in India, so it is located in Sikkim. You must know this. It is located in Sikkim. It is at the border actually. It is at the border of Nepal and Sikkim. So here we have Sikkim. I already showed you in this map, and here it is Nepal. So the point I am showing here, the dark point, it is Kanchenjunga. Okay. So what is the next thing? These are some features we studied about Himadri, like the height of the mountains, the Kanchenjunga, the highest mountain, which was Mount Everest, but located in Nepal. After this, there are some also special features of these mountains. Okay, so you must have seen some rivers flowing. Okay, so have you ever wondered that how the water in the rivers come from? Where does it come from? I know some of you must say that ma'am, it comes from mountains. So you are right, it comes from the mountains, but at mountains, rivers, there are some rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra and Sutlej. Brahmaputra and Sutlej. So these kind of rivers, they flow throughout the year, like they have water in whole of the year in them. They flow throughout the year. Now, what is the thing that we are going to study here? These rivers that flow throughout the year, they are actually born in the mountains of Himadri range. They get water from the Himadri. How they get water? There are glaciers. What are glaciers? Glaciers are the moving sheets of ice. What are glaciers? Glaciers are moving sheets of ice. Okay. So when these glaciers melt, they provide water to these rivers, and when they come in plain area, they become vast rivers. Okay, after this is the very important feature of Himadri, that these rivers that flow throughout the year, these are actually born from the Himadri range. After that, there is another point that you must be. I already told you, like the Himalaya. Himalaya is made of Himalaya, means a wad of snow. So it is the greater Himalayas. Himadri is greater Himalayas, means it is the highest range of Himalayas. So obviously they are also covered with snow. So these ranges are covered with snow almost all the year. So wait, so what was I saying? The Himadri range is covered with snow whole of the year. So now after listening this point, you can think of yourself that the area which is covered with snow throughout the year, how much cold it can be. Yes, you can think so. So as this is very cold, so agriculture is even not possible there. So what is the next thing? It is agriculture is not possible in these regions. So the plants, trees are almost, it's about negligible. No agriculture is possible in these regions due to its climate. Okay. And also very few people live in these areas because it is very cold, and if they live, they need very heavy jackets and woolens to survive. So after this Himalaya range, we will continue with the second range. What was it? Do you remember? I told you 3 ranges in the initial part of this class. What was the second range? It the Himachal range. Now you can yourself tell me if Himadri range is called Greater Himalayas, means the foremost part of the Himalayas. What will be the Himachal range called? It is called as Middle Himalayas. Now I don't think that I need to tell you why is it called Middle Himalayas, because I already showed you in the map like three regions like this. One is Himadri, middle is Himachal, and the third one is Shivalik range. So due to as this range is present in the middle, I am asking the question. So it is due to this the Himachal range is called as the Middle Himalayas because it is the middle range of Himalayas. So as we started in Himadri, we will study some features of the Himachal range as well. What are these features? So height of Himachal range is obviously less than the Himachal range. Why? Because it is at some lower level from Himachal range. So it's or you can see that there is a word written in the book as elevation, right? It is written as the elevation of Himachal range is less than Himadri range. What does this word elevation means? It means height. In simple terms, it is height. So height of Himachal range is less than Himadri range. So what is the special feature of this Himachal range? It is very interesting. See, in summer vacations, people like me who live in plain area love to go to hill stations, right? And I know you, all of you must you always go to in summer vacations to some hilly stations, right? We love that. Why? And what are these hill stations located at? Where are they located at? They are located in the Himachal range. Almost all the hill stations that are very famous are in Himachal range. What are these hill stations like Shimla, Mussoorie, okay, Dehradun, and many other hill stations which are very famous. So these are located, mostly they are located in Himachal range. So what can I say the special feature of Himachal range is? It is famous for its valleys and landscapes. Also it is very famous tourist spots as well. So this is the most important and special feature of this Himachal range. After that, what is another feature? Now you can see that I told you that Himachal range is very chilled. We can't do vegetation there, we can't do agriculture there. But when we come to Himachal range, the temperature is even a little bit higher, you can say. It is not as chilled as Himadri range. So here we can do vegetation. Even the Himachal range is famous for some of its trees, like special trees which we don't find in the plain areas. What are those trees? Those trees are oak, pine, deodar, etc. And there are other trees as well, which are specially grown in the Himachal range. We can't find these trees in the plain area. So after that, yeah, one important point is left. I told you that we can do agriculture in this Himachal range. So what kind of agriculture we prefer there? What the agricultural technique we do there? There is a special technique. Also, some of you must have seen it when you travel to such places. It is called as terrace farming. What is it called? Terrace farming. So another very common name for this kind of farming is step farming. I think now you can make a guess that what kind of farming is it? Is it step farming? Means that when we grow some vegetable or some crop, we grow it in the form of steps. There are ladders. If I have above a ladder, I do vegetation there, then I do vegetation at the next ladder and the third ladder. Okay, it is divided into ladders like this. So when we do such kind of vegetation, how we do it? Terrace farming is always done at the slope of mountains. Now you will say that, ma'am, how is it possible to do some vegetation at the slope? So for this purpose, the mountains are cut in the form of steps. People firstly cut the slopes in the form of proper steps and then we do vegetation there. So I'll tell you another thing which is important, that what is the importance of terrace farming. Okay, it is a very good advantage which is provided in terrace farming. What is it? Suppose that I have crop at my first layer, I just provided water to it. Okay, so plant will absorb its water, and where will the remaining water go? It will go to the next step and then to next step. So you can clearly think that in such kind of farming, very less amount of water is required. So we can do farming with less water. So what is the advantage of terrace farming? That less amount of water is required as the water is reconsumed at each step. Okay. So these are the features we learned. Yes, and one point is it that many people love in these kind of ranges because there are pleasant summers, good winters as well. Means a good climatic conditions we have for living. So what the people do for their living? The main occupation is goat and sheep rearing. They just earn from these kind of occupations. So what do we study today? First of all, we studied that there are three ranges that we are studying. The northern mountains means the mountains located in north area of the India. After that, we studied the Himalayas in detail. That we studied three ranges. Himalayas have three ranges. Number one is Himadri range, which is the highest, or we can say it as Greater Himalayas. Then we started Himadri range. Then we started Himachal range, which is the middle range, means middle Himalayas. Now the third range is left, which is Shivalik range, but I will not put so much burden on you. We will discuss it in next class. For now, it is done for you. Just go through the video and try if you can study from the PDF. Like there are some clear images of maps as well. You can see it in the book. I tried it myself to make it clear to you, but you can go through the book as well. So keep studying and stay safe at your homes. Thank you and have a nice day. Namaste.